Wojtek was never meant to be a soldier. He began as a frightened cub found on a cold mountain trail, trembling in a burlap sack carried by a young boy fleeing the chaos of war. When the Polish soldiers discovered him, they didn't see a wild creature. They saw something small, hungry and helpless just like themselves. They fed him condensed milk from an empty vodka bottle, wrapped him in old coats, and let him sleep beside their beds on bitter nights. Bit by bit, the bear became their brother. War-hardened men, but it softened Wojtek. He copied everything they did, clumsily trying to lift crates, stealing bread from pockets, sitting near the fires as if listening to tired soldiers whisper about homes they might never see again. When gunfire echoed across distant valleys, he pressed his head against the nearest soldier's leg, confused but unafraid. They joked he didn't understand fear, but deep down they all knew. He simply trusted the hands that had saved him. Then came the battle that wrote his name into history. Ammunition lines were failing, explosions shaking the earth. Men shouted orders. Chaos swallowed every sound. And in the middle of that storm, Wojtek rose on his hind legs, lifted a heavy artillery crate in his massive arms, and walked it to the front line like a trained carrier. No hesitation. No instinct to flee. Just loyalty. The men stopped yelling. Some stared in disbelief. Others laughed through their fear because their bear had become a soldier in truth, carrying ammunition as fast as any man alive. Hour after hour, Wojtek worked beside them. Dust and smoke masked his fur. Shells thundered across the sky. But he didn't stop. His presence stitched courage back into every exhausted soldier. They fought harder, steadier, knowing that if a bear could stand strong, so could they. When the final blast faded and silence finally returned, the tired unit gathered around him, touching his shoulders, hugging his massive neck, letting tears fall into his fur. He had done more than help. He had given them hope. After the war, medals were pinned, flags lowered, and heroes returned home, yet Wojtek never returned to the mountains. His life became quieter but not forgotten. Veterans visited him often, speaking to him as if to an old friend. He would stand, recognizing their voices even in old age, pressing his forehead gently against the bars as if remembering the long nights they survived together. He was not just a bear who fought. He was a reminder that even in the darkest moments, loyalty, courage, and love can come from the most unexpected place. And because of that, his story lives on, an unlikely hero who never understood war, but understood brotherhood better than any soldier ever could.